Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing some powerful tips and tricks for Google Pixel Pro XL. This is an amazing smartphone with some powerful features. If you own one, I want to maximize your ownership. Or if you want to buy one, I want to show you some of its capabilities. Alright guys, so the very first thing I want to talk about is an incredible feature for your lock screen. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I am going to go to the lock screen, and also this effect trickles down to the regular home screen as well. So I'm going to wake it up and take a look at the rain. Okay, we have a beautiful rain effect that plays and stops, and if I unlock the phone, the same thing happens on the inside. You have this rain effect that you're able to apply to your wallpapers as one example. Here's another example of what I'm talking about. So look at that. I have added the beautiful fog effect. You can actually do more effects. So let me show you how to get that done. So press and hold on the screen and go to Wallpaper and Style, and then tap on the Live Effects right over here, and then pick any photo that you want. So I'm going to go to my Downloads folder. I'm just going to pick one photo as an example. Let's just grab this one right here. Okay. Once you choose this, you go to Weather Effects right over here, and then you can start with doing fog. So that's going to give you this foggy effect, and I can increase the intensity of the effect so it looks even better, okay? Or I can lower it if I want nothing. But as you can see, look at the awesomeness that gets applied to that photo with that fog effect. I can do rain, as you can see, okay? And I can do snow, as you can see. And I can do the sun effect, as you can see, as if the sun was shining nice and bright. Now once I set this up, I tap on this, and that's going to allow me to apply that effect either to the lock screen or the home screen, or both. When you tap on next, that's when you choose which one you want to apply the effect to. So if I do both, look at how nice it looks. So I'm going to go out here. It is happening in the actual home screen, and you can see it kind of fades away slowly. Okay, so look at this. Let's first go to the lock screen, wake it up. Here's my snow effect, and then I can unlock, and I get the same effect transitioning over. All right, so notice this. The effect is happening, and if I unlock, it simply transitions exactly where it's left over and then fades away. This is absolutely fantastic. I wasn't even aware that this was in the Pixel phones. So tap on Live Effects. I'm going to show you one more thing, by the way. Tap on Download. This is my download folder. Pick any photo that you want, all right, and you can apply this effect no problem. Snow. The fog is probably one of my favorites for this kind of photo. I just want to show you guys what it would look like with the fog effect. All right, so look at that. We got that foggy effect, transitions over into the home screen. All right, the next feature I want to talk about is known as the bedside clock. So right now, you can see my Pixel is connected to this wireless charger using the Pixel Snap technology. So when I turn off the display and go to sleep, my bedside clock is going to get activated, which is this one right over here. And here's what the landscape mode looks like, just as an example. Now this bedside clock is actually fully customizable, which is quite amazing. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's go inside. I'm going to unlock my phone. I'm going to go to my settings right over here, okay? And then go into display and touch, and then scroll down and go over to screen saver right here. And you can see once you activate this, you get access to a bunch of bedside clocks. So the one I'm using right now is this one. I can tap on Customize, and you can see I can choose the display info I want to show up. So it can be date and weather. It can be date and weather 3. Okay, and it's got all these different styles, as you can see. Okay, and then I can go to theme, and I can either do automatic, I can do dark, or I can do light. Okay, obviously if you're sleeping and if you prefer this, that's going to be better. But you can also choose auto, and that's going to set it by itself. And you can tap on rotate, and that's going to show you what it would look like if it's in landscape orientation instead of portrait orientation, which is this one right here. Okay, so again, we have several options. So we have Google Photos. You can pick any photos that you want. if you're doing this in the daytime. But we have this Pilot Bold clock, which I really like. Tap on that, and you can see we have this option as well. All right. And I can also pick the theme, as you can see, which is fantastic. We have the auto mode, so it will either be this or that based on the time of the day. That's the dark, that's the light. Fantastic. And also we have this weather one that I really like. So this is not going to be customizable, but if I put the phone to sleep right now, you can see it's going to be a beautiful, nice weather application. You can see the weather the entire time your phone is connected to a wireless charger like this one. And by the way, just as an example, this is going to be the landscape mode. And of course, you can scroll through to see the weather. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about, again, is in the wallpapers. Go to Wallpaper and Style. And again, go to Live Effects because you have additional live effects. Go to Downloads. Let me just pick this one right here as an example. So the first one is the shape effect. This is the weather effect, but the shape effect itself is also amazing. Okay, so look at this. I can pick various shapes, as you can see, and I can change the background intensity of the effect. In this case, the shape effect. And you can see I can even choose these options here that kind of change the color tone in the background. And then once I'm ready to set this as my wallpaper, I tap on this again. You can see it gave me a preview of what it would look like on the lock screen. So I'm going to tap on OK. All right. Tap on Next. And then it creates a combination, as you can see. Okay, so you cannot do this individually. It's a combination effect. So when I tap on Apply, I want you guys to see what an amazing overall effect it creates. So if I turn off the phone, let me wake it up. That's what I have. When I unlock it, that's what I get. Okay, it goes bloop and gives you the full screen effect. Let me show you that one more time. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, next up, a quick tip for your audio experience. Go to your settings, all right, and then go over to sound and vibration. And then I want you guys to scroll all the way down. Well, not all the way down, but in the middle somewhere, you're going to see an option that says spatial audio. You tap on that one, and by default, spatial audio for the phone speakers is disabled. So what you want to do is you want to enable that to get the best possible sound quality on your phone, or you can even test it. You can do it with and without, and I'll let you know this one will sound better, but it is already enabled by default for wired headphones. And you can see right here it says you can also turn on spatial audio for Bluetooth devices, which is very important because I don't think anybody uses wired. So if you tap on connected device settings, you are able to make those changes right from here. Once you actually connect a Bluetooth speaker to the phone, you can enable spatial audio from this area right here. So that's fantastic. It's going to take your voice quality to the next level. It's going to give you surround sound experience. All right, so going back to the lock screen, I do want to show you guys, if you press and hold and go over to the Wallpaper and Style, and if you scroll over to your lock screen, you are able to swipe up to bring up some additional options. And the important one here is this, the shortcut. So you tap on it and you are able to pick a left shortcut button, which is right over here, and a right shortcut button, which is right over here. So you have a couple options here. You can also disable them if you don't want them, by the way. If you want a clean look, that's fine. But I like to have my flashlight on one side, and then you can have the camera on the other side, or other options. You can even go directly into the video camera, okay, if you do video all the time. So once you apply that effect, that change is now going to be in effect right over here, as you can see. Guys, another amazing tool that's built into this phone is an AI feature, okay? So let me just bring up some notes. Let's just go to Keep Notes, okay? And then I'm just going to bring up something like this, just some text. So basically, when you are typing something, messages, writing, taking notes, whatever, you have the ability to bring up some writing tools that are AI powered. So here's my text that I just typed in. I can select some of this guy. Let's just say select all. And then I can tap on the writing tool button right here, which is going to give me suggestions on my text. Now here it says the text looks good. But I can also rephrase it by going here. So it's going to give me a rephrased option. Okay, so let's wait for that to happen. So that is the same thing. It's just rephrased, and I can swipe over, access different versions. Now, if I was typing a text message, I could also make it sound professional, as you can see. It's just going to take a couple seconds here. So that's the professional version. I have multiple versions to choose from. Or I can go to friendly. So if I'm going to talk to a friend, I can make it friendly. And again, I can choose the one that I want from these available options. I can even go to Emojify. So that's going to add some emojis, make it more text, social media friendly. And I can tap on use this. Boom, it comes right there. Now notice if I tap on this button and go back into the writing tools, I also have additional options like elaborate. So let's say I wrote something, but I want to make it a little bit more detailed, but I can't think at the moment. I can tap on elaborate, and that's going to make it a little bit more elaborate. So you can see we have a little bit more details, and it is going to use AI to make it make sense. And then I can tap on use this, and now I have something longer, and I can make it longer and longer. Or if I have something very long, I can tap on this guy, and I can, as you can see, shorten it if I wanted to. All AI powered. Now, next up, I want to talk about a powerful AI feature. It is built into a pre-installed application on Google Pixel phones. It is called a notebook. So let me just show you the full name of the application. It's this one right here. It is the Notebook LM option. So look at this. I'm just going to create new. All right. I want to show you guys what it does. It's quite amazing. And you can work with PDF files, audio files, website files, or even YouTube videos or text. And you can see it says create audio overviews from your notes, whatever. So let me show you in action so you can see how amazing it is. So I'm going to go out to YouTube and I'm going to bring one of my videos. So here's my channel. Let's just grab one of these videos. Let's go to videos. And let's say this one right here, the Samsung Galaxy S26 video. I'm just going to copy the link. All right. Let's just copy the link. I'm going to go back to my Notebook LM. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to paste the URL right here. I'm going to tap on add. Okay. Look at this. It's going to immediately analyze the video and it's going to give me an audio overview. So this is my source. I can use a source and extract knowledge from it. So if I go to chat, you can see it gives me a text overview of what that video is all about. I can even go down here and I can convert that to audio overview, or I can go to my studio, okay, and look, it's generating additional media for me right here. I'm going to come back, I'm going to show that to you in a second. But if I go to chat, I can actually, so this is my source video, and I can directly interact with the source by asking the source questions, okay? So, for example, what processor will S26 have? Now, this is an example. Let's assume this video was very long, so you can just ask that question, and it's going to answer to you based on the actual source that I provided, all right? Which is going to be right over here, and it breaks it down very, very clearly based on the video content. And again, you can do this with a PDF file or whatever. I can add additional sources to this project. I go to sources, I just tap and add a source, website, PDF file, text, whatever, and then it's going to combine all those sources and just give me detailed information as I ask questions of it. This is an incredible feature. I'm surprised more people are not talking about it. By the way, if I go to Studio, here we have the audio now that is available. It's 4 minutes and 39 seconds. If I go inside, so what I can do is I can play this.
If you've been trying to keep up with the leaks around the new Samsung Galaxy S26 lineup, your head is probably spinning. I know mine is.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a flood of information, and so much of it conflicts.
It literally creates this audio of two people talking to each other based on the sources that I provided. Powerful feature. Now, with the Pixel phone, there are some settings that are not enabled by default, and I don't understand why. So make sure you go to your settings, and you go over to System at the bottom right here. and go to gestures. And then make sure things like tap to check the phone is enabled. You can also enable lift to check the phone. You have one-handed mode, and you have flip to basically shut up. So if somebody's calling you and the phone is like this on the table, you just flip it over and it's going to basically mute that call. If I tap, you can see flip to shut up, music, whatever. Okay, but this one here is something I like, so I enabled that. It is disabled by default, but if you are in the lock screen, if you want to check your phone, you don't have to press the power button. You just tap it and you want to see if there's any notifications. All right. But you do have a bunch of gestures over here you can play with. You can even customize the power button on the side over here. So right now it is set to bring up Gemini, but you can set it to bring up the power button. So when I press and hold, that comes up. Okay, it's based on your needs. So go back, make sure you look through these gestures and customize them to your needs. And also with navigation mode, remember, if you don't like the swipe gesture navigations, okay, you can always go to button navigation. So now you have the 3 buttons, as you can see, the back button, the recents button, and all that good stuff. All right, I like to keep gesture for now, so let's go back out. Now here's a very, very nice feature in the Google Photos application that more people should be using. So if I go to my photos, here's a photo I just pulled up right over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on edit. All right, and then as soon as you do that, over here you have the AI that says help me edit. Okay, so here's the way I like to use it. I tap this guy and I say, first you get suggestions, as you can see. So I like to use the replace background suggestion. Okay, so it says replace the background with a magical forest. So that could be anything on the background, but look at how amazing the final effect is going to be. And you do get multiple options, and all this is happening with AI. So here we have it. Beautiful. Okay, you can barely tell that it was AI, and you do get additional backgrounds. And you can do this with any photo. Works especially well in photos that have this nice clear background. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day, alright?